Critical Blast, where pop culture gets blasted.
And good evening. I'm RJ Carter, Senior Managing Editor here at criticalblast.com. I'm not in a comic book t-shirt tonight, so sorry, wardrobe malfunction for the live stream, I guess. Just kind of an open mic tonight, so telling everybody out there, if you've got a comic book project you want to push, tonight is the night to jump in and talk about it. And then we can schedule you for something bigger down the road. We've got a few things in here that we're going to be reviewing real fast, so you'll see on the website, criticalblast.com. First, is mea culpa. I'm really late on this one, largely because I didn't get a copy with the digital code, which speeds along my reviewing process. So I actually had to sit in front of a Blu-ray player for this one. Prodigal Son, really kind of liked this one. It was very formulaic in a lot of places, and it was hit or miss as it started to find its footing. But right as it reached the end of the season, it started to turn some surprises. And kind of now looking forward to season 2 to see where this one goes. So this will be coming up on the website later this week. And then sat down today with this one in front of the Blu-ray player, Space Ghost and Dino Boy. This is the 1966 collection of shorts, the half-hour episodes that were always 3 shorts, Space Ghost, then a Dino Boy in the Lost Valley, or no, the Hidden Valley. Yeah, I don't know. He's in one of those valleys. He's in a valley somewhere down in the valley full of dinosaurs, and then another Space Ghost. And then, of course, as the season concluded, the last 2 episodes were solidly Space Ghost, 3 episodes and 3 episodes for a 6-episode mega story of Space Ghost against all of his villains. And in each episode, except for the first one, he gets help from somebody else in the Hanna-Barbera universe. So you'll get a very brief appearance of the Herculoids or of Mitor. Even Moby Dick manages to make an appearance in here. So that was kind of cool. And then, of course, the thing that we were talking about in the title, we had the Batman Death of the Family Blu-ray. If you're wanting to sit down and watch another Batman movie, or rather another DC animated universe film, this ain't it. This is very far out from anything that they've done before. This is, when it's interactive, it's interactive. These are shorts, and it actually says across the top, DC Showcase Animated Shorts, Batman Death in the Family. So what you have here is a short that ends with a choice that then leads into another short. Then you can back up, and they make it very easy to go back and do the other choice. You can go back up the path you've taken until you get to the end of many of the ends, rather. So they did a good job in that. But when I watch a movie, I really just want to sit back and watch a movie. I don't want to get involved with the movie to that level. So for those who are thinking about getting it, hey, Beth, how you doing tonight? We're going to spoil it. We're not going to play it, obviously. That would be copyright law problems that we'd get there. We're not going to invite that. But we are going to walk you through the primrose path of the Batman Death in the Family series. Now, if you're familiar with the Batman Death in the Family storyline, then you know that there was a fight with Batman and Jason Todd. Jason goes off to find his long-lost adoptive mother, who he doesn't know who she is because the birth certificate's got a water stain on it, and he's not smart enough to go to the courthouse and get the official copy. That's neither here nor there. But he ends up in this version of the story. He ends up in Bosnia, and he's tracked the Joker down. Batman's also in Bosnia because he's tracking some terrorists down to Ra's al Ghul. And turns out that Ra's and the Joker are in cahoots with similar ends. The Joker's selling uranium. There is no adopted mother in this scene. This is just Jason has been grounded, taken from active duty because of the way he treated some thugs. And he goes off in a huff to Bosnia and tracks down the Joker. This all happens in about 2 minutes, folks. So there's none of this build up to the actual explosion where you get to call the 900 number and say, does he live or die? There's no buildup. You are really thrown right into the explosion that causes this. And that's right when you get to make your very first choice. which would be Robin dies. So what happens if Robin dies? He dies. That's it. But he's buried as a mannequin because Batman wasn't smart enough. He even says, I can't believe I didn't check the body right before they buried it. Why would you check a body right before they bury it when you brought the dead body home? Well, in the DC universe, you do this to find out if somebody's replaced it with a mannequin and then takes the original corpse all the way back to Ra's al Ghul's castle and dips it in a Lazarus pit to resurrect it, which is what happens here. Jason comes out of the Lazarus pit. He's all gooped up in the head. He's crazy. He's the Red Hood. He's shooting at Gotham. Bad ending all around and a very quick way to an end. So that's one very quick ending. The other quick ending is Robin cheats death, where warehouse explodes. Batman gets there, picks him up, says he's still alive. We're going to get you fixed up. I mean, this is an R-rated movie, so Jason is bloody and scarred and face is peeled off in places. And he still kind of loses it. He's in bed. He's bedridden for months as the whole Bat family is around him. He gains resentment for them. He basically determines that this is all Batman's fault because Batman brings kids around him and puts them into battle. And he even blames Alfred because Alfred trained Bruce from a child to take on his war. And becomes a Red Hood and goes out and shoots up Gotham, and things are bad. Bad endings permeate this thing. There is no happy end. There might be one happy ending in this whole thing, and it's not even a good one. So that leaves us with a third choice. Batman saves Robin. So Batman gets there in time. He grabs Robin up. He runs out the door just as the explosion hits, and basically shields Robin from the explosion with his own body, killing Batman. So that is that's not a fun ending either, and that's not even the end. Now this is where it starts to get interesting and really tangled. So I wanted to map this out. BAP2, have I heard of Mayhem Collected Edition Encoding Bushido, a robot's journey into madness? No, I have not heard of any of those. They sound like animes or mangas, and I really don't watch a whole lot of anime or manga. But Batman gets a sex change. No, he does not. He just dies. He gets really blown up. Tells Jason, don't kill the Joker for this. Catch him, put him away. Don't become like him. Use your pain to make you stronger. I love you. And then he's dead. So Jason's given the choice. Do I catch the Joker? Hey, Gabriel, welcome to the chat. We're spoiling Batman Death in the Family with a flowchart. Does he catch the Joker or does he kill the Joker? Well, if he takes the option of catching the Joker, he kind of just becomes the Red Hood without doing anything. He's laying low. He doesn't really see the Joker, doesn't really try to go after the Joker. He heals. And then he sees Batman on television in a diner. And the guy sitting next to him says, that's not Batman. If you fought next to Batman, that's not Batman. That's Nightwing carrying it on, making sure the Bat image still goes forward. And you look over and it's a guy, but you can tell he tells the joke from The Killing Joke. And Jason recognizes it because it's in the files. It's the whole one about the two inmates escape, the flashlight across the bridge. You'll turn it off when I'm halfway across, blah, blah, blah. Jason realizes, hey, I'm sitting next to the Joker. And Jason responds, well, next time I see the big guy, I'll tell him you said hello, which are the parting words the Joker gave to Jason at the explosion site. Now they both know that they're with each other. And we've got a choice. Do you spare the Joker, Jason, or do you kill the Joker? I'll tell you this, it doesn't matter, because all roads lead to Rome on this one. Whether you spare him and just handcuff him up, or you kill him with a steak knife through the eye. It's no, you know what? Erase all of that. Just trust me. You got a chance to spare the Joker or kill the Joker. You're going to have multiple options of this one, and I might have gotten some of the scenes in the wrong places, but the map is correct. You have the chance to spare the Joker, kill the Joker. Either way, Jason Todd ends up at the top of the Wayne Foundation, and he comes across, guess who? Batman, because Talia switched his body with the mannequin for burial and put him through the Lazarus pit. Only Batman came out a little more goofed up than Jason would have in the previous choices. He comes out wearing the red and yellow tattered Batman suit from the Zur-En-Arr days that Grant Morrison wrote. In fact, that's the only thing Batman can say is Zur-En-Arr, Zur-En-Arr. And it's going to be a fight between Batman and Robin because Jason won't go with Talia and form family and, help her bring Batman to his senses again. So it's a fight. It's a fight to the death or life. If you choose life, then you end up with ending number 3, which is Jason, the Bat family all together, working to make Gotham safer. Bruce in a cell in the Batcave in straitjackets, just going Zur-En-Arr all the time while they try to find a cure for him. If you go to fight to the death, you're quickly with ending number 4, which is Jason kills Batman, and Batman releases a dead man switch in his hand, which sets off an explosion, and they're all dead. They're very bloody dead. So this is what happens, all the options, if you decide that you're going to go catch the Joker. If you decide you want to kill the Joker, on the other hand, that's a different story. So you have the option to. This is the scene where he's in the cafe. That's why I said I needed to back that one up a little bit. The previous Spare or Kill Joker, this is where he draws the Joker out to catch him, and they're on a bridge. And when he gets the Joker down, he can either shoot him in the head or he can, have him handcuffed and arrested. That was that scene there. And that's the one that doesn't matter what he does. He's going to continue on to the next scene. Here is where he meets him in the cafe, and he takes the opportunity to quickly kill the Joker right there in the diner. And the police are Johnny on the spot. They're like, hey, put that knife down and put your hands up. So Jason has the option here of surrendering to the police, which gives you ending officially number 7, but we're not going in that order. Final ending. Jason's in jail. It shows him, holding onto the bars, and then they do this quick fade, and his hands get all the prison tats. He's got Bat tats and Robin tats and Joker card tats, and he changes his name from Robin to Jailbird. He's fighting for justice on the inside. Get it? Yeah, he's in jail. He's fighting for justice in there. So, not a happy ending. Or he can attack the police and not go to jail, in which case he will become the Red Robin, not the Red Hood. He'll wear the Red Robin suit, patrol the city that way, and he'll end up going up against Two-Face in an arcade. And Two-Face gets the better of him, and it's a flip of the coin. And this is your last choice. You get to decide whether the coin comes up with the good face up or the scarred face up. If the good side of the coin comes up, then Two-Face says, well, I'm going to do a good thing. I'm going to spare you from a life of misery, knowing that you failed everything. I'm going to kill you. and at that point, somebody tasers Two-Face from behind. Two-Face is down. He's out for the count. He's handcuffed, put away. And it's this younger kid who is telling, Red Robin, don't kill him. Use your strength use your pain as a strength and overcome it. It's not what Batman would want. And this is how Tim Drake enters the equation of the Batman death in the family this time around. And he gets through to Jason. Jason is redeemed. He becomes Red Robin on a full-time basis. And he takes on Tim as a sidekick, wearing this god-awful Batman Jr. outfit. And they call him Bat Kid. It's like the Batman outfit, only his ears are sticking out like Alfred E. Newman from the cowl. It's not good. That's the only happy ending that the thing has, really. Is that, hey, the Bat family's all together, and Tim Drake has joined the family. If the scarred side of the coin shows up, well, then basically Two-Face says, you know what, you're such a miserable failure. I'm going to let you live with your failure. There's a big fight. Two-Face still gets caught. but Jason is psychologically wounded, and he just continues doing his job, but he's not happy. Nobody's happy. So there you have it. That is the full plan of attack for getting into Batman: Death in the Family. This is a bunch of shorts. If you were to take a straight path from the top to any one of these endings, making your choices, the longest you would probably watch this thing would be 15 minutes. So, you've got 7 different shorts here, is what this equates to. And speaking of shorts, it does have 4 more shorts on here, and these are reproductions from prior DC releases. You'll get the short for Sergeant Rock, Adam Strange, The Phantom Stranger, and Death, all of which were probably far more entertaining than this What If reimagining. None of these things. Robin Dies, I guess, is the closest one to what actually happens. In the Robin Dies, I forget exactly. Let's see. Yeah, Robin Dies. It ends with Batman as Bruce Wayne. One of them, Robin cheats death, and Robin Dies. One of them ends with Bruce Wayne telling the entire story from inside of a diner to Clark Kent, and the other one ends with Jason being the Red Hood, doing attacks, running into Talia, and Talia reveals to him that she's got Damian, and she's like, if I can't have his father help raise him. His father doesn't know he exists. He thinks he died, but his brother would be useful to have around. And Jason decides that, yes, I'll go be Damian's brother to corrupt him against Al Ghul and Batman, and basically turn Damian into a psychopathic bad guy, which isn't too far from what actually happened. So there. Now you know all the endings. You're going in forewarned and forearmed. It's very much like the original comic with the call-in, but way more choices. I was actually there. I spent the money on the 900 number. They owe me a refund because I said kill Jason, and I didn't say kill Jason because I hated Jason. I said kill Jason because, Denny O'Neil's story was he was too far from the door. It was 2 seconds to go, and then the thing blows up. I'm like, well, that's the only thing that really made sense. Anything else would just be ridiculous. So I said, yeah, he's dead. 900 number. Here's my $1.85 or whatever it was I spent. Which, in early 1990s was real money. You could do something with a couple of bucks then. You could buy a comic book back then with a couple of bucks. So that's that. I just want to remind everybody that up in the top of the chat here, I have posted the link to the live stream. In fact, I'll just go ahead and copy it again and paste it back out here so that there's a fresher copy. Anybody wants to come in and talk about comics, the ones that they've read, the ones that they're creating, it doesn't matter. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about tonight. I wanted to make this a little bit snazzier than what I did, but I had an hour. I thought, well, I could really animate this thing and watch it, creep around. Nah, screw it. It's up there as it is. Yeah, cover price 75 cents. You could get 2 comics back in the early, back in the time for that. $1.50 was 2 comic books. And guess what? There was no tax on it because they were periodicals. And in many states, certainly the state I was in, if there was a cover date on something, it was considered a periodical, and then there was no tax. Comic books weren't taxed until they were 2 months old, in which case they passed from being periodicals into collectibles, and then they were subject to sales tax. So if you were a smart person, you would get your comics on the day of release and not let them sit around and gather tax on you. Plus, you always got a 10% discount in some places where I went if you bought them the day of that they released. All right, well, that was fun. I want to remind you, we're going to have a live stream tomorrow at 9 p.m. I know we usually do these at 7 p.m. Central. We'll be on at 9 p.m. Central to accommodate the time zone of our guest. We're going to be talking with the team from Guano Guy. We're going to be getting a little bat boop crazy as we talk about that comic book. And then next week, next Tuesday, not this Tuesday, a week from this Tuesday, we're going to have on several guests who are all the creators and actors in the independent film Monster Force Zero. So if you want to tune in for that, it'd be a kind of a different take on things we haven't done in a while. And way, way down the road, like October 29th down the road, we're going to have Jimmy Gownley on to go over his latest book, 7 Good Reasons Not to Grow Up. And this, I love everything I've ever read by Jimmy Gownley. His Amelia Rules series is a must read if you want to, A, if you enjoy reading comic books, and B, if you want to know how to write comic books and have a really good example to go from to see what the medium can do, then definitely pick up a Jimmy Gownley book. So help me out here, chat. What is going on in the world of comics this weekend that I've missed out on? Because, as I said, I've been in a recliner with a remote in my hand and taking notes on things to talk about and things to get up on review boards. Is there anything on anybody's mind? If not, I'll just close it out about the 25-minute mark here and let you all get back to your lives. Not that I don't appreciate you being here. I will go ahead and take the lull moment here to remind folks that we have these stickers that we've been giving away to people who've been sending us envelopes. And this is a 3-inch holofoil sticker. You can get this just by sending a self-addressed stamped envelope to our offices here at Critical Blast, 1097 Prestwick Drive, Belleville, Illinois, 62221. And we will love to get your envelope, and we'll shove 2 or 3 stickers in there. Yeah, there's not much in the news. That's kind of what I was thinking. There's not much in the news, not much in the world of comics. It's been quiet. I don't know if it's the lull before the storm or what it is. I mean, the only thing that was even halfway ironic was, well, I guess we all know that President Trump has been tested positive for the beer bug. And naturally, there was the usual crowd of comics pros that were saying, hey, get better. And then the other usual crowd of comics pros that were like, we hope you die, ha, ha, ha. And the irony in there was that one of them, who was not well-wishing, was also just recently, like last month, whining that, I got my cancer and you're making fun of me for being an awful person. Many junior program developers are jumping ship from Sony to Microsoft due to Sony's censorship. Yeah, Sony's been censoring stuff for a long time. That's game stuff. Last video game I played, well, here's my gaming device. I download apps and I play the little games. My son has taken over my phone, and I've gone from 3 games, which were just like time killer games. If I was, stuck with nothing to do, I've got Injustice, still the original, not Injustice 2. Couldn't figure out Injustice 2 or couldn't get into it enough to enjoy it. So I'm still playing the original Injustice. Disney Magic Kingdoms, which is not a game at all. It's really just tap things and clear it off and then come back later and tap things and clear it off. And I don't know why I'm doing it still, but I've had it for 5 years. So it's just a time killer. And then Candy Crush, because pattern matching is a way to relax my mind. And I'm like, okay, pattern match, clear. So it's kind of like Bejeweled. I used to play that a lot. But now the folder for games is like 4 pages wide. And there are all these simulator games in here. He's got everything. If there's a kind of vehicle, you can simulate it. I downloaded Asphalt Driving for him. And I thought, okay, you'll have fun racing cars. No, he's got a home designer app. It's not even a game. This is just like, build your home and wallpaper it and put furniture in it and move the walls around and landscape the yard. So I'm like, okay, cool. Get in there. But then he's got train engineer simulator, bus driver simulator, flight simulator, helicopter simulator. I'm pretty sure he's got a garbage truck simulator. So again, if you can simulate it, there's an app for it, and you'll find it. It's backed by the fact that the new Xboxes are currently outselling PS5. So the new Xboxes are outselling PS5, and that's why they're jumping from Sony to Microsoft. Well, yeah, I mean, if there's a more popular platform, then it would make sense that they would want to develop more games for that platform, and they would need more designers and developers. And Sony is a good place to harvest them from. Again, that's console game stuff. Our console, our most recent console is a Nintendo 64. Seriously, Nintendo 64 is our most recent console. Yeah, I did hear about Microsoft buying Bethesda, and for some reason or another, there's also the whole Minecraft Steve has appeared in something, and that might have triggered some people to be upset. I don't know. When I look at Minecraft, my friend has some kids who have Minecraft that they played, and he's like, the younger kid plays Minecraft, and the older one looks at him and says, we have real Legos over here that we can do this with. So I'm not quite sure if there's more to Minecraft than just online Legos with an unlimited supply, which could be fun. It'd be a great Lego designer thing, and then you print it out, and that's what I would like to find. I would like to find something where you can download Lego instructions for things without having to buy the whole box of Legos. Because God knows we've got about $5,000, and I'm not kidding. We got about $5,000 worth of Lego upstairs, because every big box is like $100, give or take, rounding. And the boy's 13, and for the last 7 years he's been getting a dozen boxes of Legos every Christmas. And we got like Arkham Asylum, Nexo Nights, all that stuff. So I'd really like to find stuff that you can just say, hey, here's a picture of something we built in Lego. It really looks cool. Here's the instruction sheet to download. Then you can produce it at home. I think that would be great. Don't find many of those things. I've looked around every once in a while, but not too impressed with the stuff I've seen. We get these books for review from Scholastic that are like, hey, look, Lego ideas. Here, look, we've built, the Taj Mahal with hot and cold running water and electricity. Doesn't it look pretty? Yeah. How do you build it? Oh, no, we're not telling you that. That would be too much. So, useless book to me. Lego Beautiful Creations. Here's a parrot with like 256 colors in its wings. Great. What box do I need? No, I'm not telling you. So, the problem I have with Legos is my wife had this great idea, and I use great idea in quotes. It looked good on paper. She bought all these empty plastic drawers, and we labeled them black, white, red, yellow. The idea being that once you're done with your Legos, you put the black ones in this drawer, the white ones in this drawer, and you get the idea. That's kind of like, that's not really working. They've got, they're mostly on the floor, and they're just shoved in whatever drawer is there. So when he builds something, it's like it's all different colors all over the place. No Starch Press, I have heard of them. In fact, I've got some of their books that we've done for review. I think I might have seen some of them have some plans for Legos, but again, most of the time they're not showing me step-by-step building instructions. I'll check out No Starch Press again and see if there's anything more out there, and just see if they can forward some stuff on for review. No Starch Press Lego reviews. So I'll hit them up tonight and see if there's anything more out there that we should look at. We do have some horror movies coming up for review. Black Box will be coming up soon, and I think it's called The Liar. They're embargoed until tomorrow, so I can't direct you to them just yet. But there's some streaming things that came to us that we're taking a look at. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that we have here that is going to be a fast review? I don't think there is. So it'll be back to just doing the comics again. We do have some Zoetrope comics and some Dynamite comic PDFs that have come to us for advanced review. One of the things is Dynamite is doing a new thing with their licensed titles that may or may not catch on, or may not just be glossed over because been there, done that. You've seen the Marvel Zombies that they've done, where they zombified all the Marvel characters, and now you've had Deceased, where we've had pretty much the same thing. We've turned the DC superheroes into zombies, and the world is obliterated. Well, now Dynamite has a limited series called Die, D-I-E, Namite. And their first issue is Red Sonja, and Red Sonja is shown on the cover, and she's all zombified. So pretty obvious what they're going to do here. They're going to turn, their Dynamite characters into zombies. I would expect we'll see a Vampirella and probably a Deja Thoris. That seems to be the popular thing to work with. I have seen several of the Lego books from No Starch Press. I just don't know if they're I don't know if they're instruction manuals. That's what I'm trying to get at there. Like the book that you get with your Lego box, where you turn the page and you're like, take these two Legos, set them side by side. Get these two Legos and click them in place here. That's what I need. That's how I like to write instructions for other people when I'm writing technical manuals up. You just backed a book called How to Die. Good. We just had a interview with How to Die. That was, when was that? I think we had him on 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19th. September 19th, we had How to Die on there. The same guy who did Eudaimonia. And it was funny because it was like I wrote down on the calendar How to Die on that date. And I didn't write the guy's name down. So like, Josh, where am I going to put this? So I went to Twitter and I was like, okay, well, I'll just, I found him on Twitter. I'll just search How to Die. And the very first thing that pops up is Twitter saying, are you okay? Here's the suicide hotline. I'm like, okay, no, I don't need you intruding into my life. I wouldn't go to Twitter to search How to Die anyway. I would Google that. I don't think Twitter's going to have the instructions. All right, well, I'm going to check the instructions for No Starch Press on Lego, not for How to Die, for Lego builds, okay? Sometimes I go from one idea to the other, and there's a wrong kind of crossover. I will look up the instructions at No Starch Press for Lego build books and see what I can pull up. I'm surprised there's not a website where people just don't upload PDFs of stuff too. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, what I really like to find, and I would dearly love Lego to do this. I would love Lego to come up with a minifigure build. I mean, they have all the heads and bodies and torsos and legs, and they all have their own individual number. Well, what if Lego, official Lego, had an app on their Lego store where you went to build a figure? And it was like it's like those books where you can change the heads on things and change the bodies and change the bottoms. Just flip the book around and you see it make, suddenly you got Spider-Man with the Hulk's torso and Daredevil's legs, that kind of thing. Well, if you just scroll through all the heads until you find one you like, and then scroll through all the shirts until you find one you like, and scroll through all the pants, and then add accessories. It would be so much easier to build your custom Lego figures straight from the Lego factory. Find the right hair that you want to go on it, or the hat, or whatever. I don't know. It seems like that's a no-brainer to me. If you've got all the parts there, and they obviously go together, no one's going to order just a head. You could be custom ordering Lego minifigures from Lego, L-E-G-O, all caps, apparently. And the plural, by the way, of Lego is Lego. There's no such thing as Legos, according to Lego itself. All right, so since nobody's jumping in to talk about their comic, and we're at 35 minutes over, I'm not going to waste anybody else's time. I appreciate you guys being here, and want to pop over to criticalblast.com and see what our reviews are for this past week. We'd appreciate it. We got some articles coming up there. We're going to be doing an article probably this week, finally digging into the rest of this coverage we've been digging in on Terrific LLC, covering what they've been doing with their artists, or their would-have-been artists, and the contracts that have been passed around. You've seen some of them on Twitter. We've got the full value of them. This Saturday coming up, it's the LCS guys, and we have special guest Bill Willingham will be joining us on the LCS guys show next Saturday. She'll be sure to pop in for that. That being said, we're out. Thank you for coming. Appreciate it.